All right, well, welcome to another episode of But Seriously, where we're helping you to hopefully become more comfortable with a life of ulcerative colitis. It has now been 21 days of my body and myself not having to live with ulcerative colitis. And so I want to give you an update because this has probably been one of the busiest weeks in regards to processes and my health and things of that sort. So just wanted to give you a quick update. So this might be a little bit longer than some of the other more recent updates, but just want to kind of walk through things. So the last update was on do the math, the 7th of September, Friday the 7th, if that's the right date? Anyway, and that was after the last doctor's appointment and had been cleared to drive, and everything was looking good at that point. The ostomy nurse, the wound care nurse, changed out my bag and everything at that point, and everything was good, and that's going to lead up to something else. So then we went to the Yellow Daisy Festival last Saturday on the 8th, and did pretty well there with that. We only did about 3/4 of the festival, and I was, why are you shaking your head? And I was pretty sore after the process. It did take a lot out of me. I was pretty worn down after that. And then, what do we do that next Sunday? What do we do Sunday the 9th?
I don't remember.
Oh, we went to church. First time back at church, and so that was good. Let me back up. So borrowed a walker, one of the walkers that has a seat on it. And so that's why I was able to do as much as I did at the Yellow Daisy Festival, so that was good. And then on Sunday, went to church and didn't use the walker, just in and out of church, and so that was really good. And then we went to our son's first lacrosse game that I really didn't get out of the car, and so that didn't take a whole lot out of me because it got rained out. But as I mentioned last time, one of the things with the doctor's appointment is I had been cleared to drive. So I didn't drive to the Yellow Daisy Festival, but I did do all the driving on Sunday, and so it was good. Felt comfortable with it. So as the week went on, Tuesday, so Friday to Tuesday, my lovely bride changed out my bag system, and I had leakage in the middle of the night. First time in the 2 weeks that had happened. And so changed that out. And then on Wednesday, the in-home care nurse came and had leakage again. And then, so she changed it out and it leaked again later on that day. So after 2 weeks of pretty good application, if you will, of the bag and everything, had 4 in less than 24 hours. So that was a little frustrating, and it really started to call into question my patience in what was going on. Not that I had become impatient, but just a little frustrating because it was, it just sucks. It just sucks. But it's one of those things. It's just one of those things that happens. So then changed that out. Everything was good. Changed it again a couple different times because discovered that I was extremely irritated around the stoma. Extremely irritated. And so reading up on different things, Beth reading up on different things, found that some people say, well, change it daily. So we started to change it. Everything was good Thursday, changed it again on Friday, and went over to see some friends who had just had a baby, and it leaked. Came right home because luckily we weren't far, changed it all out again, and headed over to some other friend's house. By the time I got there, it's leaking again. So I came home and changed it all out and went back to one of the original styles that we used. And Beth did a phenomenal job. She got everything put on, and it has stayed until we went to the doctor today. So if you are watching this and you're going through this, number one thing I'm going to tell you is just have some patience. Be patient. And I'm going to share with you a couple things that one, as I've told you before, don't go this alone. You need to know how to change out your stuff, but don't go out this alone. If you've got somebody that can help you, that can take care of this for you, that knows what they're doing and can handle it, have that person engaged and involved. But I'm just going to tell you this, because again, like I said, one of the big things is that I just started getting really frustrated. And I know I just got impatient a couple times, just like, this sucks. But I'm going to tell you that the light of this is knowing that it was only going to be 12 weeks. If I had to deal with this irritation, I'm really kind of combining two things. We'll just talk about the problem with the leakage. But Romans 5:4-5 says, "And patience produces character, and character produces hope. And this hope will never disappoint us, because God has poured out his love to fill our hearts. He gave us his love through the Holy Spirit, whom God has given to us." So in moments when you feel frustration, when you feel like, why is this happening? One, I'm going to always tell you this, things could be much worse. Two, just be patient, because it's a learning process. It's a learning process for you. It's a learning process for your caregiver, and things will be okay. Now, the flip side is that one of the problems through all this is the irritation around the stoma for me, because if you know anything about this, the stoma should be almost a full inch above the skin. Mine is, for lack of a better way to put it, retracted. Mine's actually below the surface. So
and tilted.
And tilted down. So just think about the output. I mean, I'm going to be real frank with you. Think about the irritation that could come from bowel movements just sitting on your skin. And that's what my body's dealing with right now. That's what the skin around the stoma is dealing with right now. So it's extremely irritated. The best example is...
What? Butt burn. What?
No,
what?
Oh my gosh. Is a scraped knee that's not healed.
Oh yeah, scraped knee that's not healed, and like every time you move or something, brushes up against it. I mean, it's just raw skin.
Yeah. So
it does not. I mean, every time I just look at it before I'm even having to clean it, it looks painful to me.
And it is. But I only have to deal with this for 9 more weeks. That's the upside to all of this, is that it's just, if I had to have this back for the rest of my life, then I could understand the frustration people have to go through that. But for me, the light is that even if it does stay irritated, and it's extremely uncomfortable, there's a lot of discomfort to it in my movements. But it's just I've got light at the end of that tunnel, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that light. But to tell you a little bit about what all's been going on in general, I have lost some weight. I originally lost 14 pounds. I fluctuated back and forth, and now I'm fluctuating every day about a half pound. Right now I'm sitting at about a 12-pound loss, 11 to 12-pound loss. Not trying to lose more weight. I've had a great appetite the entire time, and back to exercising. So last week I started with my back to walking, doing half a mile every day. This week I went up to 3/4 of a mile. Went and had a doctor's visit today, and so she said I could start working out with 5 and 8 pound weights. And so started back to that.
Skip the 5 and went straight to the 8.
So at 6 weeks or at 8 weeks, she said I could start to jog lightly and go to 10 pound weights. So that's all great news, because that's what?
I don't remember hearing the 10 pound thing.
She did. And so that's all good news. And so I'm excited about that. So I am traveling for the first time tomorrow. I'll be on a plane tomorrow, and then again on Thursday. So fingers crossed that all goes well, obviously for safe travel, but also for the system I have in place right now, that it all goes well. So my advice to you, again, let me back up one more time. To any family members or friends that are watching this, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for your love and support, and for the constant text and calls, checking in on us. It's been awesome. I love you all. And you are, when I say my strength is found in the Lord, I'm going to do another video about this later, very specific. When you say your strength is found in the Lord, that comes from what God provides you in your life. And for all of my friends and family, all of our friends and family, you are that strength that comes from the Lord, because you've been awesome, and we appreciate it, and I love each and every one of you. One of the best things I can tell you if you're going through this is a couple different things. One, get your routine back to normal as quickly as possible. If you can, start to get back into the things you're used to doing. It'll help in twofold. One, your caregiver. It'll help them to kind of get back on track with things. I'm kind of speaking for you, but do you agree?
100%.
Okay. And then for you and yourself and your healing to be able to get back into that routine. The other thing is that as soon as you can get up and do something, and I don't mean just for the first time, I mean every moment of the day, when you can get up and move around, it'll keep your body from getting sore, and it'll keep you. It'll help your body to start to heal faster because you're doing that movement and getting that workout. So I think that's pretty much it. The one other verse I want to share with you today, again, just about hope and patience and all of this, is let your hope keep you joyful, be patient in your troubles, and pray at all times. Romans 12:12. I will tell you that, again, the biggest thing through all this has been our faith, has been prayer, not only individually but together, and then also knowing that we've got everybody else praying for us as well, because we're hearing it, and it's been phenomenal. The miracle God's worked through the healing of my body, but also just how our friends and family have rallied around us through physically around us, and then also through prayer, because we know it, we feel it, and we love it. It's again, it's not without its trials, it's not without its tribulations, it's not perfect, but it's getting better. Went to the doctor today, a couple different things. Again, with the irritation, they are trying just a different way to put the system on, the two-part system, to see if that helps. They also provided some nerve, what was it? Nerve, what was the word? I can't remember. Anyway, a lidocaine spray and like a, basically something that's going to
Topical analgesia.
nerve duller or whatever. I mean, it's just some prescription that's going to help with the pain as well. And just cleared for a little bit more activity, as I mentioned earlier. Doctor had no concerns with my travel. And the good news is, right now, surgery is scheduled for November 15th to wrap it all up. So that will be 11 weeks and 2 days. So it's actually 5 days sooner than originally planned. So
all the victories.
All the victories. So it's 60 days from today. So we'll continue to provide updates for everything. Before I wrap up, anything else you want to share?
I don't know anything.
Okay. So just remember, fear is a liar. It'll keep you from finding joy. It'll keep you from the Lord. It'll keep you from happiness and those around you. And also anxiety weighs down the heart. But a cheerful word lifts it up. So be that cheerful word for somebody, and continue to find that support in this, whether it's in videos like this or in groups on Facebook. But again, as we talked about before, please subscribe to the page so that it does a couple different things. One, you'll get updates, and two, found out I'm not much of a YouTuber, but found out that the more subscriptions we have, the more it pushes it up. And we're not looking for exposure necessarily for us, but I am hoping that it helped by pushing us up. People looking for information about ulcerative colitis will find us. So have a great day, everybody. Catch you on the next update.
See ya.